Is it too hot and sunny to be outside? Is it a little too dark? Is it maybe a little bit too windy and wet for you to play outside? So this week, I'm going to suggest that we watch TV. I'm working from home, right? So enjoy my new whiteboard. So there are a few reasons why we should watch TV. It's a great way to passively learn English because you get to listen, you get to read, you get to finally understand how to pronounce the word and why, and looking at the picture, and it helps you to develop that ability. Also, watching TV, well, it allows you to read more. How? Well, let's take the example of Harry Potter. By watching the first movie, millions of people were intrigued and they wanted to know what would happen next. So then they started reading the books, and Harry Potter became more and more popular because of the initial movie. Now, of course, it was already popular before, but it really got a lot of envolé, as they say in French. So that's a great way as well. TV can help you picture words because you hear the word, but you also see the picture of it. It also helps to develop your verbal abilities. You get to hear what the word is, how to pronounce it. Now, TV versus a book. Books have much more complex sentences versus television. They are more simple. Actually, even adult television, they have simple sentence structure that is at the most 4th grade level. So anyone could watch television, and for adults it's more of a relaxing time. Now, if you're learning a new language, you have to concentrate and you have to really pay attention, which is why I'm going to give you extra tricks in a few minutes on how to decide what to watch and how to watch it. Now, also, television has a very simple plot. It's not complicated. It's really, there's a hero, there's a problem, so there's a setting, there's a problem, there's a solution, and it's the end. So usually within 30-60 minutes max, everything is encompassed and you have the resolution to it all. So you don't have to stay long term on it. Now, some negative stuff about watching television is that it might inhibit you to focus. So if you watch too much TV long term, then that becomes a problem because you will not be able to focus as much. So you might have problems concentrating in school. So yes, I do want you to watch TV, but I don't want you to watch too much TV. So we're going to talk about that in a moment too. Watching TV, well, it can motivate you because you're interested in the subject. I have a few students, I asked in grade 3 and 4, what do you watch? And I was surprised to hear some students watch about horses. Others, they watch TV shows on YouTube because they want to know how things are made. Other ones want to know about dinosaurs. So there's all sorts of different subjects, something for every single student. When you watch TV, you get to learn slang. So that's common language, which I might not use at school. Also, it helps you develop your ear to accents. It expands your grammar. So I speak one way, but if you only ever hear me speak English, it might be more difficult to hear a new person. They might not pronounce all the words the same way. Also, in England, they might speak like this. And then in Jamaica, hey, how you doing, man? I'm really bad in accents. I'm sorry. I hope you got the laugh. But accents. So everywhere you watch a TV show, depending on where it's from, you might be able to hear a new accent and learn different ways of how they say things. Also, by watching television, it helps you to develop your observation skills, your emotional skills, and also it helps you to memorize. Now, finally, I went ahead and I read a big study on watching TV. I wanted to know, because I keep hearing, watching TV is great to learn a second language. And during this COVID crisis, I've actually watched tons of TV. Now, what did I watch? Well, I learned a new language. Yep. I started watching a Spanish TV show, and then I watched a second Spanish TV show, and now I've actually watched 3 different series, all in Spanish. When I first started watching it, I had it in English, or actually I had it speaking in Spanish, but with English subtitles underneath. And then afterwards, I started putting the Spanish subtitles. And then I took off the subtitles. That got to be a little bit difficult. And so I started reading up on this, and I found out there was this huge study done, and they suggest that you should actually keep the subtitles in the language of origin. So for you, especially if you're in the medium or advanced level, so as of grade 4 and up, I would suggest that you actually keep the subtitles on and put them in English. For the younger ones, maybe put them in French, but I'd prefer if you didn't. Now, the reason for that, in the study, they found out, they did a test, so they put this whole class in this room, and they showed them they divided into 3 groups. Now, one group had the show just in English. The other group had it in English with Spanish subtitles, and another group had it in English, but with English subtitles. So you really had all 3 separations. And they then did a vocabulary test afterwards. And the students that had the show in English with the English subtitles, they succeeded at 100% in the vocabulary task. Those with the English television show with the Spanish subtitles and the English TV show with no subtitles, they actually only had 60 to 70%. So it was proof that watching TV shows in a new language, in a second language, can really help build your vocabulary. And having subtitles actually can help with that too. Now, asking my students which shows they like, I had a few tell me they really enjoyed Spirit, but I wanted to show you something new that you might enjoy. If you like Spirit, you might actually also enjoy Free Reign. It's kind of in the same feel. One show that I really enjoy, and I was thrilled to find out that a lot of my students enjoy as well, is Raising Dion. Now, this is about a little boy who becomes a superhero. Go check it out. Now, this is a show I really enjoy. It's called Ask Storybots, and it's these little people, or I don't know, little machines, computer things, and children write real letters. And the first time I discovered it was actually from my niece. And so she said, Emmy, do you know where stuff goes when we go in the toilet and we flush it? I'm like, in the sewer? She goes, no, it goes in. And so she starts telling me everything about Storybots. And so in this show, they go on adventures and they follow something. And they have a lot of really funny tales and funny adventures. So I really recommend you going to check it out. I would say this is more for my younger learners, so kindergarten, grade 1, 2. You might enjoy it being older. I mean, I am years old, and Ask Storybots I actually thought was really interesting. Now, parents, if you're not too sure what to let your children watch, I recommend going on to IMDb. It's a website, and you can actually type in parental guidance. And on there, it will really break up everything. They'll tell you the bad language that might be in there. They'll tell you if there's any sexual content, what it is exactly, what they're going to talk about. They are also going to be discussing some of the plot lines and some of the subject matters they might talk about. And some of it might be really good for the TV to address to your children, but some of it you might not want them to be aware of right now. So I highly recommend you do a little bit of research on that. On my website, I put a bunch of TV shows that I really think you should watch. Now, you have to go on there, check it out, but your homework this week is to watch TV. I want you to watch at least 30 minutes 3 times a week. Ideally, you would watch 30 minutes of English TV once a day. That would be my real homework for you. But it's summertime and I want you to enjoy the outdoors, and you're already spending a lot of time on your tablets or computers for teaching and learning from home. So distance learning is making me want to reduce this amount. But otherwise, I would highly recommend that you go ahead and you watch TV 30 minutes once a day in English. Hope you have fun. Enjoy watching TV. Bye.